Yeah. All I need is my team. Okay. Couple bitches in a pocket full of cream. That's right. A new edition when I pop.
Yeah. It's your boy Gully. You're now in Tuna Room 1231, and we back with another episode. And before I get started, I want to say shout outs to LSOENT. Shout outs to my sister. Happy birthday to my sister. She's enjoying her vacation overseas somewhere. I can't remember the island, but I hope she has a blessed and wonderful day. I want to give a shout out to everyone that pays attention and tunes in. For those that don't know, as I mentioned numerous times, I do this for the love of it. Nothing more, nothing less. But if you can support and help me get to the next level in life, I would truly appreciate it. Nonetheless, I also want to give a shout out to Terrence Crawford, who made history. And I do want to say that looking at that fight with Terrence Crawford, or prior to the fight, I seen a lot of individuals that was counting Terrence Crawford out. I seen a lot of people divided in their decision against Canelo. And it was mostly racial divided, although no one said anything racist or anything like that. It was racial divided. It looked like majority of the Latinos wanted Canelo Alvarez to win, and a good bit of the blacks wanted Terrence Crawford to win. I don't know if that's based off skill or just ethnicity or whatever the case may be, or race if you want to call it. But a lot of people counted him out. He came and did the unthinkable. Well, the unthinkable the most, because he already knew what he was going to do. And shouts to Canelo, because Canelo was a good sport about the whole thing. Just looking at the behind the scenes, I never really paid attention to either boxers like that. I'm like a Tank Davis fan, and a few other people I like, Shakur Stevens. He was a good sport about it, man, and he made me like his character. There was no malice behind him. I think he has a clean, pure heart, and then shouts to him. So unfortunately, he took the loss, but had good sportsmanship. So shout outs to these guys. But another major loss that's shaking up the world is the loss of Charlie Kirk. This has been going on for a few days now. The investigation is under review. They caught the suspect. They're posting it as like a political assassination, although he was really not a politician. He just was a commentator on politics that was actually hired by the right wing, aka the more radical racists. Charlie would go around college students preaching his rhetoric and trying to debate college students about, right or wrong. Now, he might not have taken an aggressive approach, but the hatred that he spewed ultimately led to his demise. So someone shot him from a rooftop from like 200 yards away. One shot to the neck. It's all over the internet. When I first saw it, I thought it was fake. I thought it was some AI shit. I'm like, what the fuck? Because it was very graphic. Didn't go back to watch it twice. That type of shit is traumatizing in my personal opinion. But it was very graphic. Blood everywhere. Dead. No coming back. And I thought it was kind of a karma, because whenever you put that type of energy out there, it doesn't matter how you feel, Like, I don't mind people having their little racist views or whatever their viewpoints is. Do what you do inside your house. Feel how you want to feel. But when you bring it out there and you start spewing it and trying to spread that propaganda, then it becomes a problem for me. So I don't care that the man was a racist. He feels entitled to his views, whether they be true or false, or, whatever the case may be. That's cool. But he went and made it his business to go around and recruit young, white, impressionable college students to pass on that torch of racism, because a lot of the old racist views, some of those people are dying out. I'm not saying the ideology is dying out, but the people that is holding it up to its highest standard are dying out. So they're going to always need young recruits, and they hired this man, in my belief, to be the voice of them, because if they came out and called someone a nigger or said black people are dumb or inherently violent, then they will get shunned in today's society. I think that's about to change, to be honest with you, with the death of Charlie Kirk, but they will get shunned in today's society. So it's easier for them to use key terms like Black Lives Matter or thugs or criminals or monsters, opposed to calling people niggers and coons and stupid and blah, 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? But he would go to these campuses and he wouldn't say those words, but he would say similar talking points, but a little bit more radical than what the politicians or the multimillionaire corporation, the hedge fund owners and runners would say, you know. So he was able to go to these different campuses, bringing life to the racist viewpoints. And ever since Trump came into power, everyone feared that the racist stuff would spew up. But it's not like he's making it. He's just making them feel more comfortable. So it's always been there. You know what I mean? That's on both the right and the left. It's two sides of the same bird. You just go about it in different ways. Anyhow, so this man was murked right on TV, live, internet, whatever. And it's got the country divided like the Civil War. You know, you got one group that's radical, and then you got another group that's like, they're not extremists, but they're a little radical as well. And now the way they're trying to paint it is that the dude that killed them, who comes from a house full of Republicans, who dad told on him and got $1 million in cash for, they're trying to paint it as he had a change in political views and he was more leaning towards Democratic views because he had a transgender boyfriend and blah, 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 blah. And the whole case seems a little bit bizarre because they got video footages of people in the crowd doing signals, and one of the individuals was one of the individuals that was there during the Trump assassination. It's a little bit spooky. And I kind of feel like it's possibly that he was killed by his own people to spark some shit up. And you're going to probably see a ramping of certain laws. They're already like shunning people. And it's ironic because they're praising this nigga for being so outspoken and utilizing freedom of speech, right? He wasn't necessarily being violent, but he was encouraging and influence the future racists, right? That may come out to be more violent. That's what he was doing. He was the sucker mouthpiece, right? That's what he got paid for. And they're praising this man as if he's some historical legend. They got people crying, adults crying, oh, Charlie Clerk. So he obviously had a lot of impact on a lot of people, particularly white Americans. And you know, some coons too. There was a couple coons and sambos in that bitch, tap dancing, crying. So obviously he was a very influential person. And he got the internet divided because you have one side of America that's like, fuck him, let him die. And that's kind of like the side I'm on. It's not like I wish death on the dude, but I'm like, I don't give a fuck that he dead. He was a sucker, you know what I mean? Suckers do sucker shit, and I believe in karma. So, you know, the energy that you put out there, you're going to get right back, whether that be good or bad. And in his case, he put out a lot of negative energy. You know, I'm sure he thought it was positive for his people, and it was positive for his people. But overall, it had a negative connotation. You know what I'm saying? It was negative things that he was spewing in this world. So it came back on him. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, he had to eat his words. In this case, he had to eat a bullet to the neck, unfortunately. And people like, you know, oh, he's human and blah, 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 blah. Well, we're all human. Okay? That doesn't excuse us for the things that we do. It's not okay. So right now, they're trying to parade him around as a hero. And for some, he is a hero, you know. But for the majority of people, he's not a hero. He's a fuck nigga or a fuck cracker. And he's dead now. So, it is what it is, you know. And I'm watching on the internet as it's divided and how they try to martyr him and they try to praise him because he represents what they believe. It's nothing. This man didn't do nothing creative. You understand what I'm saying? For him to get such praise. There's so many people that did so much more heroic stuff, influential stuff that impact the world that doesn't get any of this praise. The president flying flags for them. They out there firing people that got negative things to say about them. And this man made a fucking living off of saying negative shit. But y'all had the nerve to fire people for saying negative shit about him. How ironic is that? But what's happening is, in my opinion, you're starting to see the fall and the crumbling of America. And I've been saying this for a while now. America is under collapse. It's under civil war. It's going to be a civil war, 9 out of 10. They've been saying it for years, but it's probably not going to happen soon. But it's probably going to be a civil war. The country's divided. You have people that been holding on to this 400, 500 years racist ideology where blacks ain't shit, Latinos ain't shit, Asians ain't shit. This got to be all white country. You got motherfuckers out here trying to make all white towns and blase, blah, blase, blah. And they act like they're trying to preserve this culture. What culture, my nigga? Everything that you got, you stole. You don't got no culture, man. Your culture for you is criminal behavior. You know what I mean? Murder, segregation, racism, lies. They going into the schools and they taking the history books and they saying, nah, we gonna change this up. Well, most of it ain't even real. So you about to change up more lies? Like internet's already cracked. That's why they cutting down on TikTok, because niggas we getting access to information that we never had, and we starting to realize, oh yeah, it's a game. It's a game. So part of my theory is that they killed the nigga, inside job, to unleash the next wave of nonsense that they trying to put on the people. And I wouldn't be surprised if they start trying to trap us. I think I seen something on the internet saying, like, if you talk bad about Charlie Kirk and they find out, you can get fired. They can stop you from coming into America as far as like legal immigrants, I should say. They can stop us from leaving the country as like residents and citizens of this country. All for this, man. That's how you know it's a bigger play. That's how you know it's a bigger play. But I don't want to jump down too much of a rabbit hole with that. I really brought this up because I was really baffled of the people I seen posting this shit. Like, I seen motherfuckers on my page, on my friend list, saying, rest in peace, Charlie Kirk. White people, I didn't even think it was black. Yeah, it was one black person. It was my cousin. Got rid of that nigga ASAP. Goodbye. Fuck out of here. Talking about he was a hero. Nigga, what? Only niggas that say shit like that is niggas that don't know their history and don't care for their history. This man was dissing you. He didn't give a fuck about you. Nobody black. He'll piss on you. And don't get it twisted. The black people you do see around people like Charlie Kirk and all these other races, they're the coons. They're the bootlicks. They're the ones that they got a white counterpart, lover, or a different ethnic race that have a disdain for black people of all colors, mainly black Americans, and they're going to repeat the rhetoric because they want to be cool, but they'll never be accepted. But see, a lot of those people, they feel outcasted in the black community. And so what they end up doing is they end up turning around and they join the opposition against black people because they feel like black community shunned them, or they feel like they can't relate. So they're mad at the black community, so they join the opposition. But see, the opposition don't fuck with you. Not those. And I'm not saying white people are bad. You have some great white people. Shout out to Mr. Frank. I met Mr. Frank in the Christian camps. Great guy. Shout out to Jack in Ireland. He bought a lot of my stuff. He wanted to see me do great as a rapper. Shout out to the people in the UK that supported me. I got white friends. I got white people I'm cool with, man. So it's not no diss to them. I'm talking about specific ones. I'm talking about the racist ones in America. And you don't even gotta be white. I'm talking about the Latino, the Asians, all of them. Because it's everybody against us, it seems. So this man gets killed by another white man. And they was talking about shooting up HBCUs. You got a couple people being lynched from in colleges. They ain't talking about too heavy. 2 people found hanging from the tree. One dude had broken arms and legs. And they say he committed suicide. Climbed that tree with a broken leg and broken arms and hung himself. And rest in peace to him, but that's nothing new, But they was running around. I seen videos. White man, fight back. Fight back against what? Your fellow white man? Go ahead, kill him. All this white on white crime. Y'all too focused on us. And don't get it fucked up, because I do understand that there's a lot of black on black crime that needs to stop. I'm not one of these niggas that's gonna be, the black on black. No, that shit need to die out. We got bigger fish to fry. That nigga shot him from 200 yards away. How many of y'all can shoot with one shot, 200 yards away? Think about it. Think about that now. You better be prepared, because these niggas is trying to do damage. Trust me when I say that. So be prepared for that. But it kind of threw me for a loop when I started seeing black people on my page. Like I said, my cousin, he did it. I got to get rid of him. He's young, but I had to get rid of him. But I seen several black people. Um, no one deserves to die. Rest in peace, Charlie Kirk. And it made me like really think about slavery. And I hate talking about slavery all the time, but like it made me think about slavery. Like when niggas was on the plantation and they gave them the Bible and said, read these certain verses. You niggas bought into Christianity, which is a African religion that was perverted, adopted in the Middle East, perverted, converted into a European religion for political reasons and financial reasons, and then spewed back to people. And these people act like they practice it and they live by it faithfully, and they don't even obey anything concerning the religion. They practice Satanism, if that's a religion. I believe it is. That's what they practice, not Christianity. It's nothing Christ-like about these niggas. Nothing. Maybe so, because his name wasn't Christ. So maybe the people they are practicing, maybe so. But nonetheless, these motherfuckers got y'all so brainwashed that y'all sitting here crying and praying for your enemy. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't pray for a motherfucker, but yeah, we don't need to hear that shit. Like, how many people you praying for, strangers you praying for? This man spew hatred. Oh, no one deserved to die, and his family. Man, fuck his family. Fuck him. Because I know his wife knew what he was doing, so she's obviously down. I can't knock the little kids, but I'm sure they were being indoctrinated into white supremacy. Fuck them. Fuck them little terrorists. Fuck them all. No one that's out here spreading hate for no real reason should get your sympathy or your empathy. Unless he was your hero. If he was your hero, then do what you do. Whoop-de-doo. You know what I'm saying? I ain't tripping as long as you don't bring it to the public, which he did. So he got what he deserved. It is what it is. When black people get killed, y'all think it's funny. Ha, ha, ha. That's what you thugs kill each other. Well, now you white supremacists. Ha, ha, ha. You thugs kill each other. It is what it is, you know? But like I said, it just bothered me seeing people that are black and of color feeling something towards this man. I was like, God damn, y'all niggas is worse than Samuel L. Jackson and Django. Y'all that bad. Y'all crying over a fucking racist, praying that he gets it to heaven. Really interesting. You niggas is so delusional. You don't got to spread hate, but you ain't got to spread nonsense. Sometimes you got to learn to shut the fuck up and keep it moving. The cooning must stop. The cooning ain't gonna buy you into heaven. You think God co-signed that fuck shit? I think not. I think not. God ain't co-sign that fuck shit. God don't co-sign hatred. God don't co-sign lies. That goes against the Most High's beliefs, if you believe in the words. So why are you co-signing that? Why are you trying to make amends with that? We owe these people nothing. Nothing at all. What you do, though, is owe yourself some respect. And what you do owe is your ancestors some respect. The people that laid down and died so you can be here. That man disrespected every chance he could. You owe them some respect. And y'all ain't doing them justice. All this cooning. All this motherfucking cooning y'all doing. Makes me ashamed. Makes me ashamed. What you see is a bunch of blind leading the blind, sheep following the herd. Niggas see someone post it, they post it. Nobody even asked y'all. Y'all nobodies. Nobody cares. But y'all felt the need to go out your way. Rest in peace, Charlie Kirk. He was such a hero. Like I said, for all the white people on my page, that's expected. Like, I expect y'all. I was always told, like, a motherfucker is going to be racist. No matter how much you think they cool with you white people, they going to be racist. And I'm going to say that's not completely true. Just 8 out of 10, at least in America. 8 out of 10. And if you love the nigga and he was such an inspiration, tell me, how did he inspire you? What did he say that was inspiring? Dissing transgenders? I'm not with the transgender rhetoric, but these people are human beings. I don't wish nothing bad on them. I got no beef with no gay people. Just because I don't live how somebody else live or co-sign some of the things that people do, don't mean I want anything bad for them. They deserve rights. Yeah, there's some bad black people out there. Absolutely. But there's bad white people out there too. Look, these niggas shooting up schools and sniping niggas' necks. I'm not running around spewing white hatred to niggas. I don't you know what I mean? And I don't even fuck with a lot of them. Not everybody. Some people good. I judge a person by their character. I don't forget the historical references associated with those ethnic groups. So I keep that in mind, but I'm still going to judge you by your character. So the shit just behooves me that you niggas is running around like that. And this is why we don't get nowhere. I talked about it last week, how we got the overseers making sure we stay in check. I talked about the Sambos today that'll betray you just to lick master's ass. And I'm like, how do we grow? You niggas just traitors. And that's one thing I'm going to give it to the white people. Most of them are not betraying each other. They might be cool with you, but still harbor some of them same ideas as the extremist white person harbor. And push them to sub, they'll take their side if they have to. And then you do have some riders. But you niggas is flip-floppy. We saw that with the Canelo versus Crawford fight. The niggas was flip-floppy. The Latinos, they stood 10 toes down with they Latino brethren. Canelo, even though they not all from the same Latino ethnic group, they still held it down. I'm not mad at that, but the niggas was flip-floppy. A good bit of them was voting for Crawford, but a lot of flip-floppy. I'm going to tell you why Crawford can't win. Canelo is just way too big for him. He's never took that punch. They all were saying the same rhetoric. Then when Crawford beat that ass, without a doubt, the Latinos went on the internet, a good bit of them, not all, some of them was honest. Oh, he was running all night. Excuses. Then we got Turkey Al-Sheikh. I think that's how you say his name. You thought he was on your side, Crawford? That nigga tried to put you against David Benavidez. And I love David Benavidez, a beast. But they want to see you lose, brother. They want to see you lose. We ain't got no fucking teammates. We ain't got no partnership. Everybody's a motherfucking op. But I tell you one thing, we got one op down. Shout out to the racists that killed him. I don't give a fuck about him neither. Fry him. But that's one less person. But the problem is there's millions and more in America and overseas. And now what they're going to do? They're going to tighten up that security. But like I said, I think it is an inside job, to be honest with you. I think there's a lot more going on, and they're about to clamp down. We seen the federal troops in D.C., Chicago, I think, and they might be in Virginia. They're in a few different states, though. And they're slowly but surely clamping down on the black neighborhoods because they can't deport us like they did the immigrants, but they can harass us and throw us in jail. That seems to be the go. And I'm not going to, I'm not going to lie. Some of these areas do need some type of improvement as far as getting some of the nonsense the fuck out of here and under control. But that's not the real reason they're doing it. There's racial undertones with why they're doing what they're doing. So it's not justifiable whatsoever. But again, I got on this topic today. You know, I like to rant, but I got on this topic today because I was really baffled by people of color siding with Charlie Kirk, who expressed his beliefs, stood 10 toes down on his beliefs, got killed for his belief, is now being martyred for his beliefs, and you motherfuckers is flimsy. Again, I hope all this cooning can buy you some tokens into heaven. You fucking disgraceful, dusty, bootlicking Aunt Jemima, Uncle Tom, and they say Uncle Tom wasn't the bad guy, so the other nigga that was, you fucking sandballs. When will you learn? You will never be accepted. Not from me. Not from them. You're an outcast. You start to learn your history. You start to love yourself and be appreciated and appreciative of the color that you was born in, the ethnic group that you was born in, and understand there's greatness in there. Same thing with the white people. I think white people are great. I think they have a reason to be happy and grateful for their culture too. You don't have to be destructive. Some of you guys choose to be. You did great things. I'm not going to take that from you. We all do great things. But when it comes down to it, I'm not about to bootlick, suck dick, or do nothing for nobody but mine. And I ain't going to bootlick and suck nobody, none of that shit at all. But I'm going to hold down my people. Yeah, it's crazy. I think we're in crazy times, and I think we're in the fallen United States, and I think that the more you see the United States collapse, the more you'll see civil unrest, the more you'll see more racial tensions grow, the more violence you're going to see, and be prepared. Because America is crumbling. It's been crumbling for years. They're trying to hold on, but we're watching Babylon crumble in real time. We're watching the African nations rise up. We're watching China and Russia rise up. And we're watching the racists try to grasp and clamp on to the last little bit of hope they got in their life. And they trying to blame us. So my brothers and my sisters, get it together, man. And be ready to die for yours, because they're ready to die for theirs. And I'm not encouraging you to be violent. I'm just saying be on your A game. It's your boy Gully. I am out. You are now tuned in room 1231. Take care.
Yeah.